And then my glasses are fogging up, Fred.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for another segment of Lifting Community Spirits. I'm your host, Fred Holley. I'm the event coordinator at Republic National Distributing Company in New Orleans, Louisiana. And today, we're at the Mid-City neighborhood iconic restaurant, Katie's. And we're with their owner, Mr. Scot Craig. Welcome, Scott.
Hello, Fred. You know, I'd like to lift community spirits, but right now I got to lift my glasses because they're fogging up.
Well, I have a solution for that. Why don't we lift this spirit right here and take these masks off?
A little of my personal house Hudson Bourbon.
Tell us a little about that. You picked out a barrel, is my
It's
understanding.
the one I chose. Our dear friend, our dear friend Jorge
all right?
Mariano came to me and said, dude, I want you to check something out. And he came to me with a whole lineup of these wonderful bourbons. And this is the one I chose right here. And I'm very proud of it. I might drink a little bit too much of it, but you know, I really don't drink that much anymore. But when I do,
There you go with it.
I'm drinking Hudson.
Very good. And my cocktail today is a Western Sun Blueberry Lemon Drop cocktail made with the latest and greatest Texas vodka, Western Sun. So
Phenomenal new vodka.
Terrific.
We just started serving it here at Katie's, and I have to tell you, it's one of the finest vodkas I have ever tasted. It's wonderful.
Fantastic to hear. So, well, let's, I know we have a couple plates coming, and when those arrive, we'll let you describe those. But in the meantime, I remember many, many moons ago.
I don't.
Well, I haven't lost everything yet, but
I don't recall.
we played basketball together many moons at the New Orleans Athletic Club.
Can I say how long ago that was?
Well, if you must.
That was 30 years ago, Fred.
Whew.
30 years ago.
30 years ago. And I gotta say, at that time, I didn't realize that you were in the business.
Yeah.
30 years ago, how did you start? And give us, give the people a little history of how you were involved in the industry.
It actually wasn't 30 years ago. It was 43 years ago. I started as a dishwasher at Sizzler Steakhouse, where Acme is on Veterans now. And I started there as a dishwasher, and I was tired of washing dishes. So I was aggravating the manager. I kept saying, man, I really want to work online. I can cook steaks. My dad taught me how to cook steaks. I know how to cook steaks. One night, 2 cooks didn't show up. So guess who ended up on the line cooking steaks?
That's Craig.
And that was me. And that started my soiree into the restaurant industry and understanding a little bit about kitchens. I learned most of my cooking skills, if you want to call them skills, from ladies in the neighborhood where I grew up. I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood with a lot of Creole friends, and they are the finest cooks in the world, in my opinion. Pot cook wise, I mean, you learn how to cook red beans and gumbos and all these wonderful things that we in New Orleans and Southeast Louisiana on the whole, are very well versed at. That's where I learned how to pot cook. And here we go. And I've got
how about this time?
some yummies showing up.
There we go. So let's take a look at these, and I have you just describe these. These are a couple of the favorites of Katie's restaurant here.
Yes, they are. These are 2 of the very favorites at Katie's. Both of these were featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Very good.
These are our oysters, our char-grilled oysters. But over here, there's a little bit of a twist.
Oh, there's a twist there.
This came about. I was having dinner with Coach Mark Schlesinger from the University of New Orleans, one of my best friends to this day. And we were eating char-grilled oysters, and sure enough, he said, "Man, these need a sauce." So I went in the back and I made a little spinach bechamel with shrimp and bacon, and I put those on top of the already char-grilled oysters with the oyster butter. And that is oyster Schlesinger, and he had those and said, that's the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. And your mouth is watering right now.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get up in it. So, there's no question about that.
Those are our char-grilled oysters and our award-winning oyster Schlesinger.
Very good. And
this is the Boudreaux pizza.
Boudreaux.
Boudreaux is a well-known name
Yep.
in Cajun country, and it has our couchon de lait on it, which is the Cajun roast pork with onions. That's a beautiful red onion. And we have roasted garlic and fresh spinach with 2 cheeses. We have the whole milk mozzarella, and we also have our Provel cheese that I get from St. Louis.
Ooh,
So
my
there
goodness.
is a little twist there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into St. Louis just a little bit later, but I'm sure not only my mouth is watering, but I'm sure ours is too. And I do believe you feature these each and every day, and so
I do, absolutely. Both of
we
these
can
are
come
mine.
out and grab a taste for sure. So, in sticking with that neighborhood theme, you have 3 locations that you own. Francesca's on Harrison Avenue.
Francesca by Katie's.
By Katie's. And
That is my wife, Stephanie Francesca.
gotcha. And then Bienvenue on Hickory in...
Bienvenue on Hickory and Harahan.
very good.
Yeah.
So in regards to this pandemic and what has reshaped our industry, all 3 are neighborhood restaurants. And I'm sure that you've always done a certain percentage of business that has been takeout within the neighborhood.
Right.
How has that changed, dine-in versus takeout, since this pandemic has hit?
It's a lot. Francesca is a deli, and it was always sort of, we did a lot of takeout there because it's in the middle of Lakeview, right in the heart of Lakeview.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbors there would come by and pick up dinner on the way home, or,
Right.
but we had a nice lunch crowd, and people would come in and eat there. So we did quite a bit of to-go business there. I would think it was about 60 in-house, 40 to go. Katie's has been a different thing, and Bienvenue for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But at Katie's, I know we were about 5% to go. When the delivery services came into play, it went up a little bit, but it was never more than 10% of a lot of business. So our sales were really good before the pandemic.
Right.
So now it's about 35% to go.
Yeah.
It's very significant. We're changing things, and we have to focus on a different business model now.
I got you. So tell me a little about the menus at Katie's, Francesca, and Bienvenue. How are they different, and how do you manage those?
They're completely different. I created all of the menus, obviously, and that's my job as the owner and chef and
Right.
creator of the food. But without my incredible teams, the efforts of everyone that you've seen here over the years, Fred, really came to play, especially at the beginning of COVID. I saw the cream really rise to the top. So able to execute very large menus. And Katie's menu is extremely large. Bienvenue's is way scaled down. It's a different style out there.
Right.
We have to do things a little bit differently. But at Katie's, I have a very large menu, and we execute it really well by having a great system of people.
Right.
The system works, the people work. It's a fine-tuned offense, like the Saints.
Right.
You know? I mean, but it's just a finely tuned machine, and we have great people managing that. And my belief in a large menu is I need to have something on that menu for everyone. So
Gotcha.
that the family wants to come, everyone will be happy with that dining experience. So
Well,
that's my
you
belief.
offer that during lunch and dinner here at
We do,
Katie's,
absolutely, and we have a lineup of specials.
and you have specials each and
Right.
every day. That's fantastic.
Right.
But you also do tailgating parties, and
Yeah.
you do catering.
I do.
How do you manage all of that?
I just told you, my teams.
You've got separate teams, or
I do, but we all work together as a team. We all
Right.
communicate. The team here at Katie's handles most of the tailgating. The employee, well, that's not true. Last year, Francesca really handled most of the tailgating.
I see.
And we were the official tailgater for the New Orleans Saints last year.
Okay.
At Benson Tower.
Very
I was
good.
hired by a group, the Bullseye Group out of Indianapolis, who I've become dear friends with. And Unfortunately, we're not having that this year, and we're all disappointed. So far, we might.
Right.
This is a positive thing. Boost your spirits.
We're going to get there. We're going
to get there soon. Hopefully, we can do that this year.
Right.
But they hired us, Francesca and Katie's, to handle their catering at Champion Square.
Okay. So in regards to, we talked a little about Katie's, Francesca's. I noticed on the website that it's Creole Italian / St. Louis influence. What's that all about?
Francesca's Creole Italian. I'm Creole. I like to call myself Creole. Right. I am a true New Orleanian. Born and raised here. Grew up in a very Creole neighborhood.
You have that right to do that.
So I know I have a combination of bloods in me. So it's my Creole influence with my beautiful wife, Stephanie's influence. She is from St. Louis. If you notice, there's a lot of Cardinal memorabilia and stuff. I have been a St. Louis Cardinal fan my whole life. That's why I started dating Stephanie, is because she was from St. Louis and she was a Cardinal fan. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, it just intensified my love for the Cardinals and the city of St. Louis and the time we've spent there together and everything I've learned about the culture of St. Louis. I've just brought a little bit of that to Francesca.
I got you. Very good. Very good. Well, also, in regards to this pandemic, you've always been a leader for our industry in times of crisis. And biggest crisis our industry has hit has been this pandemic. And I know you were creative in doing a number of different things. Why don't you tell everyone what you've done and what you've been doing? And because I truly believe your heart and soul is in this city, and you've done a tremendous job. So regards to what you've done so far.
Well, I love this city, and I love the people of this city. And I love the diversity of New Orleans and the way we love one another. And we don't see the problems in New Orleans that we see in other cities, because we all live amongst one another and we care about one another. And Katrina was a prime example of that. We all came together and worked as one. And I've always wanted to get back to the city, and I could always do what I could do. But after Hurricane Katrina, I found a new sense of purpose, and that was to take care of others. And I'm on the board of the Youth Empowerment Project, YEP, here in New Orleans. I'm on the board of the Louisiana Restaurant Association.
Right.
I'm the secretary this year. It's actually my second year as the secretary or something. And I believe in those two missions. The Louisiana Restaurant Association takes care of the restaurant and hospitality industry, and it is really impressive to see leaders like Stan Harris.
Stan Harris has done a fantastic job.
He has been
advocating for the industry.
Incredible during COVID,
right,
and fighting for our industry. And I see it every day. I see it, I read it, I see what Stan's done. And I've been very, very impressed with that. So I'm very proud to be a part of that. Greg Reggiano and I've started something called the Apron Project. I'm sure he spoke about it.
Yeah.
He called me today and he said, finally, we have to turn our aprons in on Friday. So it's been 6 months or something. I mean, we started this at the very beginning. I will say it's been a little bit difficult trying to get all the chefs together because everyone's pretty spread out, and we don't know what's going on. But we've got a bunch of these autographed aprons, and we're going to auction them off at the Gold Medal Chefs.
Right. So I got the call on that, and from the RNDC perspective, we are certainly going to participate.
As you always do.
We can. Yep.
RNDC has been such a great supporter of this city.
Well, thank you very much. It's not only RNDC, but Mr. Goldring, who is our biggest supplier with the Sazerac Company.
Incredible.
So we have a couple different avenues to support our industry, and we certainly plan on continuing that.
Yes.
So the last question basically is diners,
drive-ins, and dives. Or an easier way of putting it is just Triple D. Because it took me forever to get diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Triple D, and then on the road with the Food Network. You've done both of those.
I've done a lot of shows. Fred, I can't even remember. So I've been on the Travel Channel. I have been blessed to be on so many, the Canadian Food Network. I've been blessed to be on so many shows. But, you know, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives has done 3 separate shows on us.
Right.
It was a best of New Orleans shows, and they chose the 6 restaurants, 6 out of the 27 they had done at the time,
right,
in New Orleans, and we were one of them. But Guy has been incredible to the restaurant industry in the United States,
right,
and more personally to me, because
fantastic.
when Guy Fieri comes to your restaurant and you make it on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, which is not an easy process. The interview process for that show is very, very, very intense.
Is it?
They want to make sure that they don't put any trashy restaurants out there.
Right.
You know, because some people
sure.
get on a show and then they fold up or something. Well, Triple D restaurants usually continue on to be very successful, and 3 times as successful as before they came after they leave. I mean, it's incredible what Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives has done for a lot of restaurants in the city of New Orleans and all over the country.
Well, it's amazing that you know you've done that. You've kept your neighborhood people together, which is absolutely fantastic. It's the fabric that makes New Orleans. So I'd like to thank you for hosting us today and being a guest.
It's over.
Well, it's not quite over. As
This is fun.
As we usually do, we're going to break down these 2 cocktails downstairs with the bartender here at Katie's and show you step by step for all you people that might want to enjoy and make these particular drinks at home. So thank you very much for joining us for Lifting Community Spirits, and join us next week. Scott?
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Enjoyed it all.
Salute, everybody.
Hey, I'm Bailey, and we're at the famous Katie's restaurant here in New Orleans. Today, I'm going to be making blueberry lemon drop martini with Western Sun blueberry flavored vodka and Western Sun regular flavored vodka. So let me show you how we make it. First, I always like to get a glass and get some ice. Oh, hold on. Let me do that first. First, I have to get a glass, and I have to get a couple lemons, a couple sliced up lemons in there, and then get a little bit of simple syrup. All right? Then we just like to muddle that up, just so we can get that lemon juice all nice in there. All squeezed out the lemon. All right. And then I'm gonna take the Western Sun blueberry vodka, and I'm gonna do about, I like to say, about count to 6 seconds in your head when you pour it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And you're gonna take the regular Western Sun vodka and do about a 4 count in your head. 2, 3, 4. All right. And you're gonna need some triple sec. And just do about a 2 count in your head. And you're gonna take the glass that you had the lemons and simple syrup in, and just gonna put it on top. Shake really good, real hard. Then we're gonna get a cool martini glass. I'm gonna do a sugar rim around it. Now we're gonna strain it. Look at that. Nice blue color. Looks like a nice blueberry lemonade. Today I'm gonna show you how to make an old fashioned with this awesome Hudson whiskey baby bourbon. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is get a glass like this, and we're gonna take a slice of orange and about 1 cherry. I have to take the stem off. And we're gonna put 1 dash of Peychaud's bitters and 3 dashes of Augusta bitters. And we're gonna get a dash of sugar. And we're just gonna muddle that up. And then we're gonna get some ice. Fill the ice up to the brim like this. That's good. And we're gonna take the Hudson whiskey baby bourbon. And we're gonna pour it till it's basically just from the top. Right. And you're gonna get a spoon and we're gonna stir it up. And that's how you make an old fashioned with the Hudson whiskey baby bourbon.